You know, if you come down into the center area, there's a beautiful transportation area right in front of IHFC. The inner hall in the IHFC building was old and dilapidated when I first came here. Even the furniture in the lobby was, I think, something out of the 60s. And so they've reinvested in that property, which has been really good by putting another face and experience on this market. Merchandise Mart Properties, which you've probably heard about in the paper about Vornado walking away from their financial commitment, has yet put a $1.5 million renovation into the lobby area of that building. And those types of things really make a huge difference, and I know this audience understands that better than anybody, because if you have a crummy piece of real estate, it's really hard to sell it and sell it to somebody that, you know, might see some value in it, unless they're, you know, an investor that, you know, wants to put some of their own money into it. But either way, you've got to be able to keep that property up, and that's what's been happening in High Point. We estimate that this past year that there's probably been in not only upfits with buildings, but within the various showrooms of approximately $10 million in investment in making this market better. And we looked at walking around market, seeing more exhibitors now putting their money into the High Point market, which is sending a great message, because what they're doing is that they're putting a stake in the ground. But you know, not all was well when I came to market. A lot of the marketing, which you all know, is you know, data-driven. Well, this data was controlled by one main building in a market that's 180 buildings. And there was an attitude, a prevailing attitude, that, you know what, we do this better than anybody. It was arrogant, and it kind of filtered out into the people that came into this market. And the fact of the matter is, my experience in running trade shows, we were operating like we were back in the 60s. It was absolutely terrible from my perspective. Registration systems were deplorable. And these registration systems, many people think of them as just producing badges, but in effect, if you have a good, strong registration system, you're collecting good demographic data that allows you to determine the buying activity of the people coming into the market. You know, if we're capturing the top 100 people, do we know which ones are coming back and which ones aren't? But much more difficult when you get into the medium and small level retailers. And then if you want to try to understand from what region of the country, what region of the world, if you want to know how many designers, you know, frankly, we put a wet finger in the air and said, you know, we've got 100,000 people coming to this market, and we just really kind of made blank statements. And now what we're doing is we've moved towards more of a metric where we're controlling data and we're improving it constantly, but we're also able to report accurate numbers. And I think that's a responsible thing to do, but, you know, frankly, I think people get too caught up in the numbers game in terms of the volume of people that come here. And yeah, we want to get those numbers up as much as we can, but what's most important is the buying activity and getting those right buyers that are coming here that are going to do that.